Hi, James. Nice to see you. Hi, Michael. Kaitan, you made it. The calendar didn't trick you today. Good.
Oh, hello. Hello, hello. Can you hear okay?
Yes.
Very good. One moment. Oh, John, come on in. Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you. It's a lovely fall day here. A little gray, but cool. That's nice. And John is here. Hello, John.
Hello.
And I think we got one or two other folks who may show up in a bit. Good to see all of you at home. Our theme this time, we'll be talking about some koans, from the Blue Cliff Record, which are very good advice just for daily living here in the trenches of day-to-day life. So we'll be looking at those later. Hello, Kaitan. Good to see you. I got your message. Wrote you back. And everyone else, good to see you, Shonin. Lovely. Well, Bjorn, are you Enoing today?
Yes, I am.
Very good. All right. Well, in that case, if you've been here before, you know what to do. And if it's your first time, you got it. Just follow along. Okay. Well, 1 second. Yeah, I'm discombobulated.
Let me know when you're ready, Junda. I can't see you.
Can't see me?
Just you're a little
I
back.
get my hand in there. Okay.
Okay, good. Okay. 마가 한야 하람이다 신교 간지자이보 사스교진 한야 하람이다 지쇼겐곤 가이그도 이사이그 야그샤 이시시기 후이그 후이 시기시기 서구제 그그 우제 시기 주소교 시기야급은 여제샤리시제쇼호그 소후 메즈후 그 후조 후조 まじ創業主義無限に微絶心に無識証拠未速報無限界ないし無意識界無無明薬無無明人ないし老子薬無老子人無苦種滅道無知薬無毒意無所得菩提サッタエ般若波羅蜜多高深無形ゲ無形ゲゴ無苦不音理一切天道無足行涅槃三世小仏へ般若波羅蜜多高徳はドクタラ三脈三菩提高知般若波羅蜜多絶大人種絶大名種絶無常種絶無等同種の上一切具真実不合公説般若波羅蜜多収束説収圧ギテギテハラギテアラソギテボジソアカ般若心経。The identity of relative and absolute. The mind of the great sage of India is intimately conveyed west and east, while human faculties are both wise or dull. In the way there are no northern or southern ancestors. The subtle source shines clear in the light, the branching streams flow in the dark. To be attached to things is primordial illusion. To encounter the Absolute is not yet enlightenment. All spheres, every sense and field intermingle even as they shine alone, interact and even as they merge, yet keeping their places in expressions of their own. Sights differ primarily in shape and character, and sounds in harsh or soothing tones. The dark makes all words one, the brightness distinguishes good and bad phrases. The four elements return to their true nature as a child turns to its mother. Fire is hot, water is wet, wind moves and the earth is dense. Eye and form, ear and sound, nose and smell, tongue and taste, the sweet and sour. Each independent of the other, like leaves that come from the same root. And though leaves and root must go back to the source, both root and leaves have their own uses. Light is also darkness, but do not think of it as darkness. Darkness is light, do not see it as light. Light and darkness are not one, not two, like the foot before and the foot behind in walking. Each thing has its own being, which is not different from its place and function. The relative is the absolute, as a box and its lid. The absolute meets the relative like two arrow points that touch in midair. Hearing this, simply perceive what is, make no criterion. If you do not see the way, you do not see it even as you walk upon it. Walking forward in the way, you draw no nearer, progress no farther. One who fails to see this truth is mountains and rivers away. Listen, those who would perceive this subtle matter. Live well your time by night and day. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reciting the heart of the perfection of Great Wisdom Sutra and the identity of relative and absolute, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, and to those ancestral teachers, Eihei Dogen Honored One, Soji Keizan Honored One, all successive Honored Ones up until Zuigaku Rempo Honored One, and Gudo Wafu Honored One, and to all other Honored Ones throughout history, same yet diverse Honored Ones, whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. We also dedicate these efforts to the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, to all awakened ones and teachers in all places and times. We especially seek tranquility and well-being for all creatures now suffering or ill in health. May they be serene through all their ills. May their lives be at peace and wisdom pervade the darkness of ignorance. We dedicate our hopes and aspirations to all victims of war and violence and natural events, to the injured and to all families touched by these tragedies, to the healing of hatred in all countries and among all peoples, to the wisdom and compassion of our world leaders, to the peace of the world and harmony of all beings. Thus let the harmful effects of words, thoughts, and actions be dispelled, and compassion bloom in perpetual spring. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together. All Buddhas throughout space and time. All Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
Zazen? Kinhin. Zazen. We'll have a long Kinhin. We will have a talk. I know Bjorn doesn't like when I have the light shining so directly on. That's my aura. What can I do, Bjorn?
I was literally about to say,
Uh,
can I persuade you?
to close the door, then I can't see anything. No,
Oh,
it's
wait.
fine.
At least lower the camera just a little bit. Like the room is lovely, but you're the focal point here. So
No, no, I mean, that's exactly the point. Have you ever
Jindo,
seen?
make my
We're gonna
work.
have a say. Wait. Have you ever seen a Chinese painting where the scene is mostly empty space and then some
Yes,
mountain?
but Chinese
And that
paintings do not go on YouTube.
wait, and then there's a little hut, and in the corner there's a little person. So I am the least important part here.
YouTube video. I,
Oh no,
I
not
need
for
you in the
YouTube.
center.
It's fine. Everybody knows what I look like too much.
Oh,
Anyway, why are we fighting about YouTube? Okay. You can sit Zazen during the talk. You can recline. You can have some tea. As I always say, you can do anything except sleep, hopefully, check social media, or fight about YouTube. Anything you Anything you wish. Oh, would you recite the verse over the sutras?
Yes. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning.
Lovely. Well, we're going to begin a new series. Make a note of that, Bjorn, on the Blue Cliff record. It may not be every month. It may be now and then or every other month or something like that. But these koans, I'm Koan, sorry. These are koans. Even I get confused. I'm Koan, koans, yes. These koans are lovely and certainly worthwhile spending time with. People sometimes think that Soto folks don't mess with the koans, but that's far from the case. We tend to use them more as teaching stories, something like I'm going to do today, to express the profound wisdom in them, because they actually mean something, believe it or not, through creative wording, through a bit of humor. They're conveying profound Mahayana and Zen teachings. The other Zen folks, the ones down the street, the competition, I'm just kidding. We're all on the same team. They tend to use the koans as a focus of meditation and a curriculum, and you meet with the master, and you're supposed to express your deep insight, perhaps with a poem, or waving your hand, or banging your fist on the floor, whatever you do. That's their way, and it's lovely. But we take them a bit straighter. We take them as teachings. And we also respond to them sometimes with a little poetry and a little humor and some creative insight, because straight language, as you'll see today, doesn't always convey what needs to be conveyed here. Language, in fact, is the problem, as I'll talk about in a bit. And the koans somehow, hi Chris, the koans somehow, through creative language, try to get around language. And that's the case with the Blue Cliff record. But I got to tell you, the Blue Cliff record was not always popular in Zen Buddhism. People think it is, and it certainly became mainstream and very popular a few centuries ago. But for a lot of the time, people did not care for it. They considered it maybe too much word games, might you say, and too much one-upmanship, people commenting on it, trying to top the last guy, and it can get to be a bit much sometimes. So we're going to focus on the koans themselves and not the surrounding commentary and poetry that is in the Blue Cliff. If you've seen the Thomas Cleary translation of the Blue Cliff, I think it's pushing 1,000 pages, something like that. It's huge. The koans themselves are just, a small bit of it. And most of the rest is people commenting on the comments of the comments to the poem about the comment, which was the central point. It's written over 1,000 years ago, but as I hope to show you today, it's still poignant and profound for our day-to-day struggles here in the 21st century West. And these are powerful stories. Now, even though Master Dogen is said to have brought these koans from China to Japan, that's probably not historical. That's a story that kind of developed later. It may be that he actually did not know about this collection, or if he did, he may have brought it over, but there's no specific evidence that he actually is as closely connected with the collection itself as people like to say. But the koans themselves in the collection, he cited, I think, many or most of them many times, danced with them, and was certain, I think he was familiar with it. It really became popular after Dogen's time. Finally, people think that, oh, don't you just focus on one koan at a time? Why am I talking? I'm going to talk about, I think, about 5 of them today, and not all of them. I'm going to skip 1 or 2. I'm trying to stay on a theme. Why are you talking about all these koans at once? Well, Dogen did that too. Most of his essays would cite many things, not only the koans, but a story, an old legend, a poem, and he tie it all together on a theme. And actually, these koans, if you look at them, they tend to be on themes, I think, and they tend to hold together very much. Perhaps when the original editors put together the Blue Cliff records, that was intentional because they put koans together that fit well together. So when we go through these first few koans, I hope you see that they actually fit very well with each other and resonate. They're lovely, all right? So sometimes in the Blue Cliff record and the commentary and the way it was traditionally handled, really it was a bit otherworldly. People went for, shall we say, the cosmic in the koan. And we are too. We're not neglecting that. We're not neglecting that at all. You'll see that these are really koans that have to do with what you are in reality, in the universe, truly. Life and death, and what transcends that, and all that, all those big questions, they're all here today. So we're not neglecting that. But what I want to do, this is kind of maybe a 21st century Yankee conceit, Westerner, is bring it down to our kitchen and the living room and the office and practical. Because if the cosmic and the timeless and the transcendent is anywhere, it's right where we live and where we work. So these koans are certainly practical advice. So without further ado, that's the big introduction. Let's get into it. The first one concerns our first ancestor in China, and maybe the first koan because it's such a central theme to the teachings. Emperor Wu of Liang asked the great master Bodhidharma, "What is the highest meaning of the holy truths?" And Bodhidharma said, "Empty, without holiness." Okay. And the emperor basically said next, "Who are you?" And Bodhidharma replied, "I don't know," which makes him sound daft. And there's one more part of this where the emperor was bragging about how he had donated so much gold to temples and built so many temples and contributed statues and performed great merit, karmic merit. And he asked Bodhidharma, "What's it worth, all these things I've done karmically?" And Bodhidharma said, "No merit, nothing, zilch." Well, actually, his no merit is not really nothing in zilch, which I'll get to in a second. But first off, I doubt this story a little bit sometimes because these emperors tended to have tempers. And a guy showed up with me, even if he was a big priest. I don't know if he would have walked out of that room. Maybe a quick trip to the dungeon. But in any way, this is the story. So why is he telling that the emperor, that our greatest holy truths, our teachings, all the big teachings, every word that ever came out of the Buddha's mouth is just empty and not holy. Not holy, just empty. And why is he saying, who are you? I don't know. Couldn't he check his driver's license? What is this? He actually doesn't know who he is? What's going on here? Well, this has to do with our Buddhist view of true treasure and worth, and are truly who we are when we drop measures, divisions, names, and separation. And then it's not nothing, it's not empty, it's actually, how to say, holier than the word holy. It's a knowing beyond anything I know about. It's a merit that is not dependent on what you do or don't do. We actually feel there's something about this universe that is sacred. Holy is, a lot of you coming from that other religion, you know the one I mean, the other religion down the street. The words like holy freak you out, like, oh my gosh, that's what they used to use in church there, right? So let's get past this. It just means there's something special, sacred. There's more to this game than meets the eye. There's something afoot. There's something beautiful with a big B going on here, all right? And that is realized when you stop separating the ordinary from the holy. So some of you might not have liked that. I said, oh, what does he mean this is going on in my kitchen? I thought it goes on in the temple, or on the mountain in the Himalayas, or in the cosmic realms with the Kinhin. That's where the real game is. It doesn't go on in my closet, or my shower, or in the garage. No, it does. And it's you who judges what is ordinary and holy. And when you stop your judgment of what is ordinary and holy, you realize it's all kind of big H, holy and sacred and special. Lesson number 1 of Zen. We will see that doesn't mean whatever you do is good. It means everything is good. But we still have to appreciate that fact, number 1. If you just go into your closet and see a closet, it's just a closet. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a sacred, special place, because I see it that way. But if you go in there and you just say, hey, that's my closet, and there's my shoes, and there's my shirts hanging there, it's just a closet. If you go in there and realize, no, this is the Himalayas and the temple and the whole universe here, then it's truly holy. So the first thing to do is stop dividing in your mind the division between holy and ordinary, and you realize through our practice how sacred it is, all of it. That's why we sit, as you heard me talk the last couple of weeks, sitting with the conviction that this sitting is sacred, this sitting is special, this sitting is Buddha, this sitting is the whole universe, this sitting is no other place to be, so that when we get up and we walk in the closet or the kitchen or the office, we realize, oh yeah, it's that too. It's also over here and over there and everywhere. So, right, the holy truths of the Buddha teach this, according to us Zen folks. And the I don't know, I guarantee you, Bodhidharma knew with a big K. But what do you know? When you drop the I that's separate from the thing to know, that's the knowing. Imagine that. I heard an interview yesterday with Noam Chomsky on linguistics for 2 hours. Understood about a third of it, but one thing I did get As soon as the baby pops out, even in the womb, we're already in trouble. Because the first thing the baby does is begins to say, okay, I'm over here. And first off, the baby's not separate for everything. Imagine you're in the womb. It literally is not separate. It just somehow the universe becomes this separate thing, right? And then the baby, first off, maybe not have a good conception of being separate from anything. But that gradually develops. As soon as the mama is over there and the baby's over here, and the baby realizes that the mama is not doing all that the baby wants, and still the baby starts crying, and then that other thing called food comes. And then we're in trouble. The origin of dukkha is right there in our suffering, the separation from me and that thing over there that sometimes does what I want and sometimes doesn't. That's not me. And that just strengthens and strengthens and strengthens until you got a whole language of adjectives, of things we like and things we don't like, and beautiful and ugly and good and bad, and this thing and the other thing and 10 million other things. And suddenly we got Noam Chomsky has a whole career. Bodhidharma is talking about dropping all that and getting back, shall we say, into the Buddha womb. That's actually a term. And where there's something to know. Imagine a know where you drop the I and the object. We got a couple of Chinese speakers here. Ni hao, hao ma, jidao ma. Notice I didn't say ni jidao ma, wo jidao. I didn't say that. That means in Chinese, I know. In Chinese, in those languages, you just say no, no, no. Okay? So maybe there was a little play here. I looked at the original Chinese. There may have been a little play there. It's not that I know, I don't know. When you drop the I, there's only knowing. And part of it is also there are things in this world that we don't know. Buddhism won't give you the answers to everything. It won't tell you, I forget, what's the capital of Bolivia? I think it's La Paz. I don't know. Anyway, it won't tell you the chemical formula for chlorophyll. Actually had to look that up yesterday, Kaitan, from my book, chemical formula for, and it's actually, there's variations on it. It's very complicated. Anyway, it won't tell you that. So there are things we don't know. Don't know who's going to win the next election? Don't know. Don't know what tomorrow is going to bring? The weather? Don't know. We accept that in Buddhism, but this knowing is transcendent of that, because it's just dropping the I, dropping the things to know, and there's just this great knowing. And even the merit that the emperor does. We always think, if I do this, I sit Zazen enough, it's going to pay off. I'm going to get a payoff. If I work hard enough, I'm going to get a promotion. If I do this other thing, I tend the garden and pull the weeds, it's going to, everything we're looking for a payback here, right? So Bodhidharma says your actions have no merit. There's nothing to gain. Again, sidebar, where do you think our Soto teaching of no gaining came from? These original teachings. It's ancient. It's not something we invented. It came back from the original. There's nothing to gain. There's no merit. Does that mean that the emperor should not donate temples and be a nice guy? And no, quite the contrary. He should do it anyway. We live with generosity, not selfishness, because there's no gain. Truly, giver and gift and giving are, did I get that right? Giver and give the person receiving, and the giving and the gift are all one, we say. But we live with generosity because it opens our heart to these teachings. If you're selfish, there's still no merit, but you're going to be less likely to get these teachings. If you're violent and hateful, it's all the same as if you're good and not, because we believe there's nobody to hate, there's nobody to do the hating, there's nobody to kill, there's nobody to be killed. In this other view, when you drop all separation and division, return to the Buddha womb, there's like a great life that cannot be killed, something like that. And yet, if you're filled with hate and violence, you're not going to get it. you're actually dividing the world into pieces. If you live gently, with compassion and easily, you're more likely to get these teachings of wholeness that Bodhidharma is preaching here. Okay? How is that practical? Because we go through life judging, filled with anger, feeling that, oh, this is not special or sacred, or just realize again through your Zazen, every place is sacred, every place is holy, everything you do has no merit, but yet is the great merit, and live gently at the same time. What's more practical than that? That's basically our Zen practice in a nutshell. Okay? These other koans really are just a variation on that. Case number 2. Chow Chow, not to be my daughter, I call Chow Chow. That's her nickname in the house, but this is Chow Chow. I'm not getting my tones right. When I was in China, guys, our Chinese guys, I never got the tones. I don't know my cho from my cho. That's why I switched to Japanese. Much easier. But Chow Chow, or however you pronounce it, I might just have called him some really, sorry, getting all choked up. Okay. Anyway, Chow Chow was tea. Oh, thank you. Now I got my tea and my coffee. Thank you. Thank you very much. Chow Chow was teaching the assembly and said, "The ultimate path is without difficulty. Just avoid picking and choosing." This is from the Xin Xin Ming. It's also some things in the Tao Te Ching that are very similar. It's a basic teaching. The ultimate path is without difficulty. Just avoid having, the fancy way to say it is aversions and attractions, or we say likes and dislikes, or picking and choosing. A footnote again. Why do I always speak about sitting Zazen with radical equanimity? There it is. It's an ancient teaching. I'm not making it up, guys. I mean, it's all in these old teachings. The ultimate path is without difficulty. Just avoid picking and choosing. However, says Chow Chow, get this. As soon as there are words spoken, such as A, this is picking and choosing, and B, then there is clarity when you don't pick and choose. You are not abiding in clarity. Okay? People think, okay, if I drop the picking and choosing, I shall feel clarity. And it's true. But then they say, okay, I got to stay with the clarity. No, you're choosing. Have a dropping of picking and choosing, have a dropping of clarity and no clarity that is such a dropping of no picking and choosing that you're even clear about not always being clear. Dig it. I mean, that was, write that down. I'm not even sure what I just said. When you try to stay clear, some people say, I want to have, a guy came to me and said, I want to have samadhi all the time. I said, very good. Good luck to you. But I said, today's a cloudy day. The sun is still there. We do not, in our practice, at least the way I interpret it for you here, and I offer to you, our clarity is so clear that you don't even need to feel clear all the time. As soon as you demand to feel clear all the time, you're not really clear. You are picking and choosing. How can you avoid picking and choosing if you're choosing not to pick and choose? Here's the thing. What I recommend is know the great not picking and choosing that is present whether you pick and choose or don't pick and choose. This is one of the things that Westerners get confused about. They think it's an either or proposition. Either I like this or I don't like this. We have some folks today, for example, might have going to the dentist or the doctor and they don't like it. Of course, I don't like it. Who likes it? Nobody likes it. I don't like it. Okay? But I like, and I'm okay, and I'm feeling great equanimity about both the thing I don't like and that I don't like it. It works. I'm only human. This is not saying have no preferences. You could not live without preferences. It's saying, first of all, hold your preferences lightly. You know, some people fall into their preferences and then they get angry when they don't get what they want. And then they get mad and revengeful. And then they get elected president of the United States. Oh, I said something political. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean. Don't be so angry and greedy and clutching about, I want this, and then I didn't get it, I'm going to get my revenge. And, you know, this is how a lot of people live. And I'll be happy when I get this thing, and right now I'm not happy because I don't have this thing. Don't be that person. Have preferences, hold them lightly. That's code one. But here's the trick. Even when you don't get what you want, be with the one you love. That's that other song. Anyway, when you don't get what you want that you're not getting what you want. When you're disappointed and frustrated, don't be disappointed and frustrated about being disappointed and a little disappointed and frustrated. Feel great peace and equanimity, even when the you know what hits the fan, like that. So the monk here is saying, don't separate picking and choosing and not picking and choosing, because that's picking and choosing. And don't separate clarity and not feeling clarity, because that's not clear and you're picking and choosing. And then you get the true non-picking and the true clarity. That is not a matter of whether you pick and choose a little or don't pick and choose, or feel always clarity or don't feel always clarity. So then this other monk asked him, Chow Chow said, I don't abide in clarity. I don't need to stick in clarity all the time. And then his student said, I think, do you still preserve anything or not? I'm not happy with that translation, but we're going to just fluff through that. At that time, a certain monk asked, no, he said, do you preserve anything or not? Which I think maybe I should have looked at the Chinese, may have the sense of, do you hold on to anything or not? Like, are you trying to hold on to clarity or not? Don't do that. And then his student said, since you do not abide within clarity, what do you preserve? And Chow Chow replied, I don't know either, which I think is the same I don't know as Bodhidharma, which is just, I know when I don't try to do that, because there's no I to do that. Just knowing and abiding, and it's good. I just know it's good. The monk said, since you know, teacher, why do you nevertheless say that you do not abide within clarity? And Chow Chow said, it's enough to ask about the matter. Now bow and get out of here. Which I take to mean basically, the true clarity that abides is not something where you have to cling to it and try to stick to it and keep it all the time. Do you have it, teacher? Knowing. I'm not going to answer that, but of course, yes. Even when I don't feel it, because I'm not trying to cling to it, it's still there. And then the student asks something else, and he says, now, get up, bow, and go out into the world where we have to have our loves and our hates, not hates, our likes and dislikes. We try not to hate. Likes and dislikes, make our choices, get out there and put it into practice. Something like that. And what the teacher feels is that very same, no merit, sacred, but don't try to define it as sacred, knowing when you don't say that I know something, knowing. That is the clarity that this teacher feels even when he's not always clear, even on the cloudy day. He knows the sun is still there, like that. So when you go through your life with choices and things that disappoint, try to do that. That's why we sit Zazen the way we do, with such radical equanimity that we even accept when, pardon my French, shikantaza, no, I'm not going to use that word, stinks. On a bad day, there is no bad shikantaza, we say, even the bad shikantaza, for this very reason. You must know the peace and clarity that exists even when things are not clear and peaceful, and you don't feel clear and peaceful. Do not expect to be feeling clear and peaceful all the time, and that is the true clear and peace. On the rainy day, know that the sky is still there, like that. Okay, anyway, case number 3. So Great Master Ma was unwell, and the temple superintendent asked him, "Teacher, how has your health been?" And Master Ma said, "Sun-faced Buddha, moon-faced Buddha." Footnote, I believe Master Ma died the next day, so he was really sick. I believe he died shortly thereafter. But he said sun-faced Buddha, moon-faced Buddha. And what is that? Well, moon-faced Buddha is a Buddha that traditionally lived for a day. I think actually not even a day, just a night. And the sun-faced Buddha lived, I believe, 10,000 years. So I guess he was saying something like, well, live short, live long, it's all Buddha. And then he died. But we even, in our practice, dropped the idea of that too. Drop the idea of life, drop the idea of death. And where did he really go? So notice sun-faced Buddha and moon-faced Buddha are both Buddha. Buddha is this, shall we say, timeless? This Buddha, timeless something, but it's timeless in the short, it's timeless in the long, it's timeless in the living, it's timeless in the dying, it's timeless in the sick days, it's timeless in the healthy days. Notice that it's the same as the other 2 koans we saw about not having preferences, the true clarity. What is that clarity? Buddha. It's Buddha even when you don't know it. It's sacred in the temple or the closet, or the hospital room, or the funeral, or the place where that baby was born that gave Noam Chomsky his career. It's all the same. Moon-faced Buddha, sun-faced Buddha. You all know that song? I'm of a Jewish background, so this is one of our traditions. Sunrise, sunset, no, I'm not gonna. Bjorn gets mad at me when I sing. He's got that electronic tuning AI. It doesn't work on me. He can't fix it. Even with all his best technology, cannot fix it. Anyway, Master Ma said, sick, live long, live short, sickness, health, and then life, death, and he died the next day. Question mark, or did he? Or did he? It said the Buddha died, or did he? So when you encounter in your life sick days and healthy days, win and lose days, up and down days, days that go like you want and days that don't. Can you know this clarity that holds all that? Can you know that which is so beyond aversions and attractions that you're okay with it, even when you're not okay with it? Doctor comes to you and says, you got 2 weeks to live. Oh, great. Thank you. I'm a Buddhist. No, please. Yeah. But here's the thing. Can part of you actually feel that? I'm here to tell you firsthand, yes. I'm still here actually, but I had a moment like that years ago. Yes, you can feel that. Even though the other part of you is going to be scared shootless, if you know that expression. Nobody wants to die. Everybody's afraid, right? I guarantee you, if you took the Buddha, held him by his feet off a cliff, people would say he wouldn't be perturbed. I don't know. Anybody's going to react when the tiger is chasing them. Anybody is going to panic when certain things happen in life, when the bomb explodes down the road. Anyone's going to get shaken. But there is a part of us that can actually know this sun-faced Buddha, moon-faced Buddha, that is just Buddha, that is beyond preferences, is the clarity even when we're scared. So I'm telling you, this is as practical can be. Now, next, case number 5. Shui Feng. I'm embarrassed, I got my Chinese speakers here. Shui Feng, or as some Americans would say it, his Shui Feng, teaching his community, said, pick up the whole great earth in your fingers, and it's as big as a grain of rice. Throw it down before you. If like a lacquer bucket, that means if you're really lost by all this and you don't get it, call people to come help you look for it. One of the reasons we sit Zazen with the whole universe, we say the whole universe is encompassed here in microcosm. Not even microcosm, it's all here in the sitting, is just for this. If you can learn to see everything in the world and everything as life is the whole thing, wow. This grain of sand is the whole thing. This moment is all time. This thing that just happened to me, the good thing, the bad thing, the thing you like, the thing you don't like, is the whole thing. When you can do that, it's another gateway to freedom. Where is there to go if it's just this? What is there to do if doing what you do here is everything? Now that, again, this is just our one face way to look at things. Of course, you got to get up in the morning, you got places to go, people to see, you got things you like, you got things you don't like, you got things that are defective and you got to fix them. I just broke my desk chair. I've been trying to fix, I broke the arm on my desk chair and I've been trying to fix it. Every time I fix it, it gets wobbly. It's driving me crazy. Okay? Drive me crazy. Wobbly arm. You know, on my chair. Blah, 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 blah. Get the screwdriver, tighten it up. 10 minutes later, it's wobbling again. Right? Drive me crazy. It's the whole universe. It's everything. It's perfect. It's perfect as it is. It's a perfectly wobbly desk chair arm. It's a perfectly perfect medical diagnosis. It's a perfectly good flat tire. It's raining on the picnic today. Every raindrop holds the whole universe. When you can learn to see this, it's another key to freedom. This again is why we sit Zazen with this attitude that this moment of sitting is timeless. People say how long I should sit. 15 minutes? Great. 30 minutes? Great. 5 hours? Great. Sit every moment, however, beyond measure. and that every moment is the whole thing. Huh? Then why don't I just sit for a moment? Well, because it usually takes us a few minutes to realize that it's beyond time, because we're in such a world of watching the clock. Even now I'm looking, right? Oh, I got to finish my talk. Even now I'm looking at the clock. We live in such a world of watching the clock that it literally takes a few minutes to forget about time. Now, we don't completely forget about time. It's more an attitude felt subtly. I talked about subtle feeling in the bones, that every moment of sitting is truly all of time, the only place to be in the whole universe in that moment, the only thing to do. And then when you get off the cushion, you realize all of life is like that. And finally, case 6 basically summarizes everything today. Every day is a good day. Huh? Everything is a good day? When there's a war going on, and when there's a hurricane, when you're sick, when the cat's sick, when the car's in the shop, when the economy's bad, when you lost your job. It's a good day. What is this, like one of those self-help calendars? Just stick it on the fridge. Every day's a good day. Nope. Every day is a good day when you feel this clarity, and this is everything, and this dropping of preferences, and this dropping of your internal, subjective, small human judgments of good and bad. Then you feel the great good that's even present when it's really bad. Again, it's not a matter of everything then in your life is going to be roses and chocolate cake. It's going to be stomach aches and bad knees. It's going to be all of it, but it's that all good when, let's go to the top. When you drop thoughts of merit and gain, when you drop thoughts of I know something, when you drop preferences and aversions so much that you don't even care whether your preferences and aversions or not, when you drop all thought of clarity so much that you're clear even when you're not clear, when you're the Buddha that's sometimes sick and sometimes healthy, when you even life and death, no one wants to die, but even then, when you somehow drop that, when you feel every moment is all moments. In other words, what I'm describing is Zazen. When you feel this, even that you don't have need for a good day always to be good, and it's all timeless, beyond night and day, every day is a good day. That's what I got. Somebody hit me with something here. I just like to see if the microphones are working. No, please, questions, complaints, requests for refunds, all that. Somebody? Chris? No? Oh, yes. Up in the corner.
So if the Buddha was hung off of a cliff by his ankles, what do you think he would do?
Either fall or not fall, probably try to get out of that situation. Hopefully try to persuade the people who are holding him that way to kind of give him a hand. But hopefully, and this is the thing, the primitive part of his brain, I'm convinced he was a human being, biologically, anyone hanging off the side of the cliff, unless, by the way, sorry to go on a tangent. I watched a documentary about rock climbers, extreme rock climbers, and also the Walenda family, those guys, they walk across the Grand Canyon on a tightrope, okay? And doctors tested them, and they literally trained their brain not to be so reactive as most people. So there might be possible that you could actually, some of it was genetic, by the way, with a rock climber, and it's a little dangerous. He actually is on the side of the mountain, and he's just not afraid. He's not biologically wired to be afraid. Why? Something's wrong with him. In a sense, I mean, I don't want to say wrong, but yeah, I'm going to say it's a little dangerous. We are wired to be scared in certain situations. Cora Wallenda and the Wallenda family, for whatever the reason, nurture or nature, they've trained them generation to generation to walk across tight wires across the Grand Canyon. I'm not getting up there. I don't care how long I've been practicing Zen. I'm not walking across the Grand Canyon on a tight wire, but he has trained himself. Could the Buddha have trained himself or not have been so reactive that he's hanging off the side of the cliff and doesn't feel anything? I'm going to say, yeah, it's possible. Scientifically verifiable, there are such people. Is that most of us? Hell no. So I'm going to say, I would guess that the Buddha hanging off the side of the cliff, and if you pushed him enough, would get scared like anybody. But I also think that the Buddha, from all his years of practice, might also in that moment have that transcendent something. It's like the old story, the guy is hanging from the cliff and there are tigers above and tigers below, and he's hanging there. What should he do? And he notices a beautiful strawberry and he takes it. Delicious. I hope that is there with us too. So I'm going to say, I hope the Buddha would be scared, not scared. And like I said, I had a medical diagnosis, and the doctor told me, the big C, cancer, right? I experienced this scared, not scared. That's the only way I can describe it. I was at moments terrified. Esophageal cancer is a big word. Terrified. I got kids. I'm just terrified. And not scared at all in the same moment. I cannot explain it otherwise. But I consider that the fruit of this practice from all these years. Any jokes to tell? Yes, Michael. Chica.
The cases that you shared reminded me of a case that was also in the Book of Serenity as well as the Shobogenzo. Gensha Shibi's Ika Myoju, the whole world in all 10 directions is a single bright jewel. But then, of course, the last one that you shared, case 6, also reminded me of Jimmy Stewart Roshi, who in the movie Harvey said, "Well, every day is a beautiful day."
I love Jimmy Stewart. Thank you for that, Michael. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, lovely. The whole world is a bright pearl, a bright jewel. Even when it seems a little covered with mud, the pearl is still there. And yes, absolutely. Very nice.
Can I ask one?
Huh?
Can I ask a question?
Yes. Go ahead. You gotta get the microphone.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
With the case 2, isn't it? Well, the explanation was it's emphasizing the I of I don't know, but couldn't it be that he's talking about something subconscious, and so he doesn't know in the normal sense at all?
Well, he was also speaking Chinese, and these koans are open to interpretation, of course. But I would dare say, whether you call it the subconscious knowing or however you phrase it, it was this he knew something, but it's not a knowing you cling to. The same as Bodhidharma, I would think. And just find it for yourself too, through your practice. Anything else? Yes, Chikyo.
Yes, I have a question from what you just said for like finding it for ourselves, like in our own practice. I kind of feel like Zen can just be like a minefield of paradoxes, and it's when you think about even the things that we chant, where it's like, you know, if you're looking for the way, you don't even see it as you like walk upon it, no path, no wisdom, no gain. But yet at the same time, we're supposed to kind of like not be seeking, shikantaza, goalless and everything, but it could also feel like Zazen, you're just kind of free falling. And I know that the precepts kind of help guide us and the teachings and everything, but what is like a compass that we can kind of use to have an indication that, things are kind of moving along, even
Okay.
if we're not really heading towards any particular destination?
Okay. First of all, I don't think Zen has the slightest paradox. That's a kind of it's not a paradox so much. It's basically two ways of experiencing reality or life that are both true at once, which is not really a paradox. It's just like they're both just two ways of seeing things. One is that there is absolutely nothing to attain, even as we keep going in life. There's something transcendent of good and bad, and that's very good, even as we live in this world of good and bad. They're not really paradoxes so much as both true at once. Both true at once. There's not really a conflict. That's why these koans, when you get them, are kind of like, oh yeah, now it wasn't a paradox. It's just, it's all true. It's like I could say, this is a bell, and it's also wood and metal. Which is it? It's also atoms. Which is it? All of the above. I got a chemist here who will vouch, right? It's also what's the chemical formula for it? It's also true. It's nitrogen and carbon and iron. It's all in there, right? Which is true? Is it a bell or is it iron and wood? Yes. So is that a paradox? No, it's just all true. So these Zen things, these teachings are not paradoxes. Now, when are they true? The proof is in the pudding. You're right that the precepts guide us in the directions that are more likely to see this. If you're violent, you're less likely to see this view beyond divisions. If you're generous and kind and loving and non-violent and not filled with hate, you're more likely to realize the wholeness. So the precepts are a compass. But when do you know it? Like the situation I described, when the guy is you're hanging off the cliff of life, or the stuff hits the fan, or you get the flat tire, or the cat is sick, and you go, this really sucks. That's a Sanskrit word. Sucks. Sukra in Pali. And you, at the same time, in your heart, you're going, oh, I get it now. And it's somehow the big okay. And when you feel this and you go, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And I'm also clear right now that it's terrible and I'm clear. When you experience this, then you don't need me to tell you about it. That's when you know. When the stuff happens that you cannot accept at all, and you even accept that. I don't accept this at all. This is really bad. And yet it's somehow good and fine and timeless. When you experience it, then you know. That's why we sit Zazen. That's the only answer I can tell you. It's not anything. You'll know it when you know it, like that.
Thank you.
So how do you know if you've solved the koan or not?
Well, it's not solved. These koans, as you can hear, are this is life wisdom. When you're in a situation like Master Ma of being sick, and you can go sun-faced Buddha, moon-faced Buddha. I get what that is. I guess that's how you solved it. Not going into the master's room and banging on the floor. We don't do that. More better, be in your sick bed and get, oh, I get it. This is really terrible. I got tubes coming out, eat every hole in my body here, up my nose and everywhere else. And it's terrible. I hate this. Yet it's somehow, it's okay, man. At the same time. Then you are Master Ma. Then you are Master Ma. Don't need to get any confirmation for it. I think a lot of the times when the fellow comes into the room and he needs to give the answer to a koan, half the thing was the master knew that the guy didn't need to demonstrate anything. He just knew, and it was obvious. Then you say, oh, okay, I see you got it. Okay. So we got a couple of mental health professionals here. When the patient comes in, how do you know if the patient's doing better? How do you know if the therapy's working, the patient's doing better? Because the patient's doing better? I mean, it looks obvious. They're happier. Their life's now working. It wasn't working as much before. Okay, how do you know that? Because you know it. There it is. Their life's just working. How do you know your life is working? Because it's working. There you go.
In the case of a therapist, they just don't show up.
Yeah, good, that too. And also for the Zen class, when they stop needing to come here, I guess it's a success. You guys are all failures. Keep coming. You come here all the time. Okay, anything else? Okay, we're going to close the sutra now and have a mini Zazen, followed by, I could not find a dance for the, you get my joke here, the Blue Cliff record, but I found a record of Cliff Richard singing the blues. Okay, and he's singing about the loss of love, that's dukkha, right? And change, and right? And searching for happiness. That's what the song is about. It's perfect for us. All right? Bjorn, would you sing us out?
May the merits of these teachings penetrate into each thing in all places, so that we and every sentient being together may realize the Buddha's way. All Buddhas throughout space and time. All Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
By the way, I do have to drop in a footnote. Dogen said that even the Buddha and Bodhidharma, after they were enlightened, they kept practicing. So I didn't mean to say if you're coming here, you're actually a failure. When you get it, you should still be coming here. I'm jealous. I just want to see you guys anyway. So, all right, we're going to put into practice right now this Zazen of one moment is all moments. Are you ready? We're going to sit Zazen. Okay, thank you. That was lovely. Now we are going to sing the record, the record, Cliff's record of the blues.
Well, now that she is gone, you won't feel bad for long. For maybe just an hour or just a moment of the day. Then blue turns to gray, and try as you may, won't have a ball, and you won't hurt at all. You'll find another girl, or maybe more, to pass the time away. Then blue turns to gray, and try as you may, you just don't feel good, and you don't feel alright. And you know that you must find her, find her, find her. And you know that you must find her, find her, find her. She's not home when you call, so you then go to all the places where she likes to be, but she has gone away. Then blue turns to gray, and try as you may, you just don't feel good, and you don't feel alright. And you know that you must find her, find her, find her. Blue turns to gray, blue turns to gray, blue turns to gray.
I've never heard of this one, so I don't know. Zazen? Right, it's not too strong on you. I'll move it. I have no preferences. Yeah, that's right. It's too strong. There you go. It's a koan. Kinhin. We will now recite the Metta verses, followed by a little more Zazen. Okay, I think we're going to recite the Metta verses today in the way of the koans we were looking at. So it's going to be a little bit bringing that same Mahayana Zen wisdom into the South Asian tradition of the Metta verses. You know, it's a tradition from South Asian Buddhism that became very common amongst many Zen groups, but let's also incorporate that same insight from the koans when we recite it. Not all of it. I'm going to just maybe the first verse and the last verse I'll do it. I like to say this is as if the Metta verses had a baby with the Diamond Sutra. It's a little inside Buddhist joke. So Perfection of Wisdom Sutra in the South. Anyway, all right. If you know it, please recite along. If not, please follow in your heart. Can everybody hear okay? Okay, all right. We begin with ourself, but here it's going to be our non-self self. And then someone we love, a friend, a stranger, and then a difficult person, and then all sentient beings. So let's see if you get what I'm doing here. May I be free of suffering. And yet, no I, no thought of suffering or not suffering, that's true freedom. As a matter of fact, drop all thought of freedom or not freedom. And that is the true freedom. So this is going to take a while if I go at this pace. May I feel safe and still. Dropping I, dropping thought of still or moving. The ultimate safe. Dropping thought of safe and danger. Real safe. May I be free of enmity. Well, if there's no I and no one to hate, how can there be any enmity? May I be loving, grateful, and kind. It's kind of the ultimate love. And when we love and don't hate, we realize this. May I be grateful even for the things I'm not grateful for. This may be why all the Mahayana sutras are so long. It takes so long to say all this. So, may I be loving, grateful, and kind. Grateful even for the stuff I'm not grateful for. Grateful not always to be grateful. May I be healthy, like Master Ma. The true health. It's not a matter of sickness or health. And at ease in all my ills, even when I am ill. May I be at peace. The peace that is all the broken pieces of this world and the times of peace too. Embracing all conditions, all of them, of life. Okay. That took a while. Next, we're just going to do it the usual way, but still have that same sense in your heart. Next, for someone you love, but still they're not separate from you. You're not separate from them. That leaves only the love part. I sound like a hippie. All right. Think of someone you love. Let's see. Okay, that's easy. May she be free of suffering. May she feel safe and still. May she be free of enmity. May she be loving, grateful, and kind. May she be healthy. She was sick last week. She's feeling better today. And at ease in all her ills. May she be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay? Next, I'm going to chant for a friend, someone who wrote me just a couple hours ago, tell me they're not feeling so well. Don't know who that could be, but somebody is going to the doctor tomorrow or something. Okay, I'll chant for them. I hope they know about it. All right? May he be free of suffering. May he feel safe and still. May he be free of enmity. May he be loving, grateful, and kind. Strikes me as usually pretty kind. May he be healthy and everything go well at the doctor's. But may he be at ease in all his ills. It's literally a pain in the butt. May he be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay? Now for the stranger, the person you passed in the elevator like that, somebody. Okay? I always think of the guy who works at the convenience store every week, every month. I mean, I always say that's my mind always goes there. I must spend a lot of time in the convenience store. Okay. May he be free of suffering. May he feel safe and still. May he be free of enmity. May he be loving, grateful, and kind. May he be healthy and at ease in all his ills. May he be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay, next we're going to chant for the difficult person in the world or in our life, in the past or present, with the idea that if they weren't that way, they wouldn't do those things. I'm going to try to emphasize that in our Mahayana way when I recite these words. May he be free of suffering, because he is really into his he and is suffering a lot. May he be loving. Yep. Grateful. He's not. Kind. Not a lot of the time. That's probably why he seems so miserable. May he be free of enmity. No, wait a second. Did I get it wrong? Wait a second. May he be free of suffering. May he, oh yeah, I forgot the safe and still part. Sorry about that. May he feel safe and still. May he be free of enmity. There you go. May he be loving, grateful, and kind. May he be healthy in body and mind, because he's not. In the mind part, I think. And at ease in all his ills. He doesn't accept anything. This is why. He is like he is. May he be at peace. And the people around him would be a lot more peaceful too. Embracing all conditions of life. Yep. Okay. Okay, now all sentient beings. And I'm going to go back to the Metta Sutra has a baby with a Diamond Sutra. Okay. May we, though there's no we, be free of suffering, though there's no suffering. May we feel safe and still. And when we stop clutching stillness, that's the real stillness. May we be free of enmity. If there's nobody to hate and know us, pretty easy. May we be loving. Love is good because love is that know me, know you, right? May we be loving, grateful for all of it, and kind, even when people are mean. May we be healthy, the ultimate health, beyond sickness and health, life and death, the ultimate health. And thus, knowing that, we are always at ease in all our ills. May we be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Yeah, that Mahayana way takes some time. So, oh my gosh, no, okay, I thought there was already later than I thought. We're going to sit or stand or as you wish for a few minutes of Zazen. We will now recite the verse of atonement and the 4 vows.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by Masons of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable.
Okay, everybody, please bring some of that every day is a good day, beyond preferences, sun-faced Buddha, moon-faced Buddha, I don't know, wisdom with you as you get back out there in the world. As Chow Chow said, now we bow and get the heck out. See you guys around, okay? It was nice sitting with you. Good to see you, Shonen. You're looking good. See you guys.
Thank everyone. Bye.